Right now at 5, an overnight storm caused significant damage to businesses in Baxter Springs.
And our weather calm for us today, a little bit on the cool side, but we do have additional thunderstorm chances this week. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Sarcoxy Rural Fire Department hosted a fire hose testing at the high school parking lot.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Melissa Alexis.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday and it is March 31st, last day of the month. And of course, over the weekend, had some damaging thunderstorms roll in very early Sunday morning. We had a number of wind damage reports, and of course, National Weather Service teams will be out there assessing everything. And we'll talk more about those damage reports. And of course, we've got some news coverage of that damage this morning. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, we are settling into severe weather season. And we've got another severe threat as we head into this week as well. But let's get your Monday started. It is a bit cold out there this morning. You're going to want a light jacket for sure. And that breeze cutting through. Let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies, we've got some clouds out there. In fact, we're starting our day mostly cloudy, but eventually we'll begin to see clearing as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, pretty deserted at this point right now as well. So here's a look at the future track heading into this afternoon. Again, it is going to be chilly today. We'll have a gusty north wind and eventually clear skies heading on to the afternoon, with our temperatures slowly creeping up, but not where they're supposed to be for this time of year. And as I mentioned, we have another severe threat, and like we talked about last week, this threat tomorrow, this is going to be for the overnight hours. Once again, from Tuesday night, it's very early Wednesday morning, we are looking at another threat of severe thunderstorms with all hazards possible. And at this point, unfortunately, like what we saw this weekend, damaging wind gusts are the primary concern, and that possibility for significant wind gusts, 70 to 80 miles an hour. Right now, the timing on this is looking to be after midnight, sometime between about, let's say, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. But again, you have to remember how these all pan out for their outlook. So we'll take a look at that thunderstorm threat a little more in detail, go over what we saw, and of course we'll cover some damage reports for you as well. 41, both Joplin and Pittsburgh. So as I mentioned, it is a bit chilly. I did not grab a jacket this morning, but I'll tell you right now, I regretted that, especially with that gusty north wind. We do have some upper 30s out there, but most of us hanging on into the low 40s. So kids getting on the bus this morning, they'll probably want that jacket because again, it'll be chilly. Upper 30s, north winds 5 to 10, gusting to 20. And then again, skies clearing about 54 when that bus brings them back home, but those north winds still gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. And the gusty winds will actually increase as we head into our Tuesday out there as well. So again, clouds decreasing into the afternoon and evening hours. We're looking to go right around mid, maybe some upper 50s out there. We'll talk more about that severe threat Tuesday night into Wednesday. We'll break down the timing on that and go over some of those damage reports with you here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
All right, thanks, Chris. An armed man has been convicted in connection to a 2023 shooting in Pittsburgh. Colin Gepford has been convicted by jury of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and several other charges. The incident took place in February 2023. Multiple agencies responded to reports of shots fired at Main Street in Pittsburgh. David Mays was found with a fatal gunshot wound to his chest. The shooting was part of an altercation between Mays, Gepford, and 2 other men. Gepford was on the scene when authorities arrived and taken into custody. Gepford is expected to be sentenced on May 20th. A storm that went through the area Saturday night caused storm damage in Baxter Springs. Local businesses and residences were the main structures affected. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
It's going to be hard because I've got people, you know, I got 4 single mothers here that depend on this place, and so I've got to make sure that they don't end up on the street.
Families and businesses in Baxter Springs are dealing with damages from a storm that took place overnight. The storm strung debris throughout the downtown area, with buildings taking a majority of the impact.
We came down, around 2:30, and the storm had taken out my business the front of my business with the top of another business across the street. Their roof and their gutter came into my shop, and there was significant damage to their shop. Their place was flooded. The roof is it's completely damaged.
Pro Ice, a company that makes ice wraps for athletes, is going through a major loss at their business, with most of their inventory for the next 6 months left destroyed.
Our 18-foot steel overhead garage door got blown in. Wall in the building, one of the walls got blown out. Some window on the east side got blown out, and then another 12-foot overhead door got blown out the back. Of course, everything got rained on for a couple hours during that time, and it destroyed the bulk of our product that we would normally sell between now and the end of August. It takes us about 6 months to get all that sewn up and ready for season, but it's all gone now.
Despite the amount of damage at his business, Greenberg is happy that nobody was seriously injured in this weather event.
You can see from the size of the boards and everything that came down, I mean, it could easily have killed or terribly injured one of the people that works here.
Pamela Mitchell, the president of the Baxter Springs Chamber of Commerce, says that this time of year is crucial for tourism on Route 66, so crews will try to efficiently clean the damage and debris.
Springtime is this time of the year, April 1st, is when Route 66 travelers pick up, and we really don't want them driving through and seeing all of this damage. So we're going to work really hard all together, the city, the chamber, all of the business owners. We're going to work as hard as we can to get everybody fixed up and back open.
In Baxter Springs, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Officials say that no injuries were reported during Saturday night's storm. Now don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. The Sarcoxie Rural Fire Department invited the community to come watch a fire hose testing Saturday at the Sarcoxie High School parking lot. The fire department hopes that the test shows that in a time of emergency that they are prepared, and it gives the community a chance to meet the volunteer firefighters that put their lives on the line.
I love helping people. That's what I always wanted to do with my life, and I enjoy helping others in their time of need. What I enjoy about hose testing is this just shows us that we put the time and dedication in to make sure our equipment is functioning properly. So when people in the community need us, we are 100% guarantee we're ready to go.
The exercise is to ensure none of the O-rings fail on the hoses. Now that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Pitt State baseball looks for the series sweep against Northeastern State. We have the details. Plus, over 100 pounds of Dubai chocolate was given away at a chocolate festival in Portugal. And we have a cooler and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Pitt State and Missouri Southern baseball both look to close out their weekend series strong. First up, Pitt State's at home going for a sweep over Northeastern State. Gorillas versus the Riverhawks in the series finale. In the third, Pitt State's already up 9-0, and Alex Rogers loops the ball about 100 feet, but it lands in the perfect spot for a single. Some days the ball just lands your way. Into the fourth, it's Tanner Leslie on the mound. He fields this ball right back to him and easily throws out the runner at first. He gets the next batter to sky the ball on the infield. After a while, it's caught by Hayden Dyer for out number 2. And Leslie strikes out the next batter for the 1-2-3 inning. He goes 5 innings, strikes out 5 batters, and only allows 1 run. Still into the fourth, Murphy Bostic throws a wild pitch for ball 4. That's a theme in this one. The Gorillas draw 12 walks, collect 12 hits, and take down the Riverhawks 13-7. Moving over to Missouri Southern, the Lions can't get it done against Emporia State. They lose 2-0 and drop the series to the Hornets. Keaton Anderson has a nice day on the mound, but Southern just can't bring anyone home, and the Lions drop to 17-14 on the year. Into the big leagues, both the Royals and Cardinals had home matchups on Sunday. The Royals look for their first series win against the reigning AL Central champ Cleveland Guardians. Guardians versus Royals at Kauffman Stadium in the 5th. Royals are down by 1 until Kyle Manzardo gets to the plate and makes it a 3-0 ball game with one swing of the bat. Next inning, Gabriel Arias lifts one to right, and it's going, and the wind carries that one out of here. It's now 4-0. Into the 8th, Daniel Schneemann adds another homer for Cleveland, making it 6-0. The Royals fall to the Guardians 6-2. Today, they look to bounce back against Milwaukee. And the Cardinals cruise past the Twins 9-2 for the series sweep. St. Louis remains undefeated on the season, and they'll welcome the Los Angeles Angels for a 3-game series today. And just 2 games remain to decide who advances to the Final Four of the NCAA basketball tournament. Florida and Duke are already in, but who's going to join them? Surprise, surprise, it's the number 1 seed Houston Cougars and Auburn Tigers. Both teams take care of their 2-seed matchup and head to San Antonio for the Final Four on Saturday. And for the first time since 2008, the Final Four is made up of all number 1 seeds. So take a look, folks. Your 2025 NCAA champion is on the screen right now. Florida takes on Auburn at 5:09 Central Time, and Houston faces Duke at 7:49. Well, still to come, a new study suggests that artificial sweetener is linked to an increase in appetite. Plus, unfortunately, we are in severe weather season. Got another possible round of severe weather. We'll have a look at that when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 5:17 now on this Monday morning. We're going to start with the damage reports and the wind reports that we had across the area. And believe it or not, this is really it in our immediate area. So we had damage in Baxter Springs, some in Galena. We had wind gust reports that are in the green, the Joplin Airport, measuring about a 79-mile-an-hour wind gust. And we had some minor damage to a home, some damage to a siding, and a small tree off to the north and east. So National Weather Service teams will be out to assess everything. Just an unprofessional observation here, but it is interesting how the damage and those high wind gusts seem to follow a particular path. So we'll see what exactly the National Weather Service comes up with. But one way or the other, it got very windy, and damaging winds, 70, 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts, were a concern as we went into Sunday morning. And one way or the other, again, that's exactly what we ended up seeing. And unfortunately, we have another round of that as we head into the middle of this week. So right now, we have an elevated risk across the entire area as we head into tomorrow. But this is going to be really for after midnight, heading into very early Wednesday morning. A very similar situation to what we saw Sunday, but maybe 2 or 3 hours later. It'll maybe last a little longer into the first portion of our Wednesday, which is why we have a low to elevated and just barely an enhanced risk clipping some of our area. So now the thing is, the main concern with this is once again damaging wind gusts. We have an area highlighted right through our region here for the potential for those 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts. We also do have a slightly higher risk for tornadoes. That's not saying we're expecting an outbreak or anything like that, but the risk heading into tomorrow night and Wednesday morning is a little higher than what it was over the weekend. So we really want to keep a very close eye on this. We want to make sure, once again, your phone's charged, you've got the Skywatch weather app, you've got batteries in your weather radio. Remember, we stream our coverage online as well, and on our app, and on the KOAM Plus app. So whatever happens tomorrow night into Wednesday, we'll be here. And let's talk about the timing of those storms too, because honestly, we're going to be here when these hit, if everything plays out the way it's looking. Today, clouds begin to clear into the afternoon. We are cooler. We're a bit below normal, mid-upper 50s, but skies clear late this evening and overnight. Clouds will thicken up early tomorrow morning, and we'll have a mix of some partly to maybe mostly cloudy skies. We have gusty winds today. They'll increase tomorrow out of the southeast, pushing upwards of 35 miles an hour. Most of tomorrow is dry. We're going to be warm. We're going to be much warmer than where we are today, so we go back in the low to mid 70s. I got a few showers showers that will be possible during the day on Tuesday, but that's a very isolated chance. Here we are at 3 a.m. We got this line of storms once again. It's going to develop off to our west, now entering into parts of Greenwood County. And as we move through the morning, here we are at 5 a.m., so just outside of Fort Scott, back towards Chanute, Parsons, Independence, Coffeyville, Bartlesville, we have this very intense line of showers and thunderstorms. This is where our severe threat is. And again, that's why we're saying this is going to be early Wednesday morning, but maybe a little later. So as we're going on the air here with the KOAM Morning News, this is going to be rolling through. By 8, the line looks to be a little weaker. We'll have to see whether or not that actually takes place with that weakening, but we still have that threat for strong to severe thunderstorms. And as we head late into the morning, by noon, it is done. Our severe threat is over at that point, but we still need to watch it very closely heading into Wednesday morning. And as I mentioned, if it rolls in at the time that's expected now, you just saw on Future Track, we'll very likely already be on air here with the KOAM Morning News. So we'll keep you updated through the morning on that. All right, winds today out of north gusting to 20. Shift out of the southeast tonight, gusting to 20. Again, they pick up tomorrow. Temperatures increasing. A little cooler Thursday, Friday. We have another round of showers and storms as we head into Friday, but nothing screaming severe yet at this point with Friday's activity. Does bring our temperatures down a bit. We'll warm up again as we head into the next work week with sunny skies. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a new study suggests a popular artificial sweetener may alter brain activity when it comes to hunger and actually increase your appetite. Researchers studied 75 people who consumed one of 3 drinks on 3 separate occasions. The drinks were plain water, plain sweetened with table sugar, and water sweetened with sucralose, which is an artificial sweetener. The participants underwent brain scans and were also asked to rate their hunger levels. Their blood sugar levels were also tested. Those who drank water with sucralose said their appetite increased by nearly 20% when compared to drinking water with table sugar. The study's authors also found sucralose led to increased connections to other parts of the brain responsible for controlling motivation. Well, excessive midday sleepiness in your golden years could be an early sign of dementia, according to a new study published in the journal Neurology on March 19th. Persistent daytime tiredness could be a red flag for the neurological disease. Researchers analyzing data from 733 women in their 80s discovered that those who became increasingly sleepy during the day throughout the 5-year study period were twice as likely to develop dementia. The data seemingly supporting a 2019 study that found those in their 70s with excessively sleepiness during the day were more likely to develop motor cognitive risk syndrome, a pre-dementia condition. However, researchers do warn not to get worried, as general tiredness in your golden years is normal. Mass layoffs are coming for the Department of Veteran Affairs. The VA secretary has said the department is looking at laying off about 80,000 employees to increase efficiency. Lee Waldman spoke to some VA employees who are worried these cuts will impact their ability to serve veterans.
The veterans just aren't going to get taken care of the way they should be.
Fears are mounting for Veterans Affairs employees and their union representation, American Federation of Government Employees, over sweeping layoffs planned for the department. Veteran Affairs Secretary Doug Collins says the VA is aiming to cut its staff by some 80,000, about 17% of its workforce.
Money and people are not the issue. So what we're looking at here is, are we spending, the money properly, and are we having the right amount of employees, or do we have just too much bureaucracy?
According to an internal memo obtained by CNN earlier this month, reduction in force and reorganization plans will be submitted by April 13th and revealed in June when cuts will begin. Jonathan Geller, the vice president of an AFGE branch in New York, worries about the impact on veterans they help.
This is going to affect all patient care. As a whole. I mean, from the call centers, from eligibility to benefits, to the crisis line, to member services lines.
Erica Alexander is a crisis responder on the Veterans Crisis Hotline. She believes layoffs will leave veterans without critical safety nets and mental health support.
I think it's going to be hard to make sure that no calls go unanswered.
They gave so much for their country, but Geller worries the country won't be able to give back to them.
This was a promise. We promised these men and women to care for them.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got a chilly start to the day out there for us, a bit below normal. Warmer weather on the way, more thunderstorms on the way. The latest when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, a competition in Pittsburgh hopes to encourage young civic engagement.
Now we've got a cold start to the day out there this morning. We do have additional storm chances this week as well. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
Plus, plant lovers come together in Joplin to swap plants and share their green thumbs.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Melissa Alexis.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday. It's March 31st, last day of March, heading into April. And unfortunately, no April Fools here. We do have additional severe weather chances as we head into this week as well. After what we dealt with over the weekend, early Sunday morning with those strong severe thunderstorms as well. So we're entering severe weather season.
Definitely.
Sunday's kind of that reminder. We are in it now. No severe weather for us today, but it is much colder because of that cold front that came through and brought us those storms over the weekend. Let's start with a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, we've got clouds out there. It's a fairly cloudy start to the day, but clouds will begin to decrease as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours. MoDOT camera 20th at range line in Joplin looking good as well. So here's a look at the future track for today. Again, we start our day mostly cloudy. Clouds begin decreasing into the afternoon and evening. We'll have a gusty north wind that once we head overnight will begin to shift out of the south and east for us, and then that will increase as we head into our Tuesday across the area. So we have that severe threat. Let's talk about that. Now tomorrow we have an elevated risk across the entire region, but it's at least at this point, anything we see that's daytime related is looking to be limited. This is going to be, it's looking more likely another late night, overnight event. So going from Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And in all honesty, I think this elevated risk is primarily for what we're expecting early Wednesday morning, and then like we saw over the weekend where the severe risk shifted east on Sunday, same thing. It's going to shift east on Wednesday as this line of storms rolls on through. And we'll talk more about that severe threat here in just a few more minutes with that full forecast. Right now, though, we have 41 in Joplin and in Pittsburgh. Across the area, we do have some upper 30s here and there. Monette and Cassville, Nevada, Fort Scott, hanging out in the upper 30s. Most of us, though, are at least into the low 40s for right now, but those temperatures will likely fall back just a wee bit. That means kids getting on the bus probably want a jacket. We're talking upper 30s, gusty north winds pushing 20 and partly to mostly cloudy skies. Then we'll have clearing skies by this afternoon. About 54 when the bus brings them back home. North winds still gusting upwards of around 20 miles an hour. Again, clouds decreasing through the day. We're looking at highs into the mid, maybe even some upper 50s. So not quite where we should be for this time of year, but it's the coolest we've been in quite some time. We've had a number of days here lately above average. The above average temperatures do return tomorrow. The gusty winds continue as well. And as I mentioned, we've got that storm threat we're tracking Tuesday night into Wednesday. Go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
All right, thanks, Chris. The Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce held a Civics Bee on Saturday. Local middle schoolers tested their knowledge on government and society. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
First place winner today gets $500 cash, second place winner gets $250, and third place gets $125, and all three will move on to the state competition later in May.
The National Civics Bee brings local students together to flex their knowledge in civil and governmental topics. According to a survey done by the United States Chamber of Commerce, more than 70% of Americans fail a basic civic literacy test.
We started partnering with the U.S. Chamber on this because we did see that there's a lack of civic knowledge going through our community and just the United States in general. So they thought it was important to start with our younger generation and kind of get that knowledge early.
Contestants were chosen after they submitted essays discussing solutions for civil and community issues.
The first round was actually all the students wrote an essay, and that was from October through December, and then they were chosen in February to come attend this event. So we've been working for months on this, putting this together.
Morgan Brownie, a sixth grader who participated in the Civics Bee, had one word to describe her feelings as a contestant.
Nerve-wracking, especially since you don't know what the other contestants' scores are.
Despite those nerves, Brownie ended up taking home first prize. In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
And the winners of the Civics Bee move on to represent Southeast Kansas at the state level with a chance to make it to the national competition. And the Carthage Chamber Biz Expo returned to Carthage Memorial Hall on Saturday, offering a day filled with networking, games, and prizes. Dozens of local businesses showcased their products and services, including home improvement, banking, and healthcare. The event was free and open to the public, drawing crowds looking to shop local and enjoy the fun board game theme.
The purpose of today's event is to allow our folks in our community and in our area to come out and see our businesses and what we have to offer. From printing services to electrical to painting, any service that you might need, massage, all of that.
Attendees also participated in a scavenger hunt throughout the expo. Plant lovers were invited to join a fun and green-filled event at Joplin Public Library on Saturday. Attendees brought plants, cuttings, or seeds to swap for new ones from the library or from participants. The library also displayed a selection of plant-themed books for those looking to learn more about gardening or houseplants.
I just hope they learn that, reusing, repurposing is a great way to get new items. I hope they learn that the library is a place for things like this and that plants are great.
Plants were sorted into 3 categories: indoor, outdoor, and seeds, making it easy for guests to pick and choose from a variety of options. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Iran rejects direct nuclear talks in a letter to President Trump, citing broken promises. Plus, rescue efforts continue in Burma after a brutal 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit the country. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, people attending a chocolate festival in Portugal on Saturday had an opportunity to decide for themselves if they like Dubai chocolate. Hundreds of candy lovers were each given a piece of a 176-pound chocolate bar. The chocolate is believed to have been originally created by a startup in the Middle East. It's become a viral sensation due to its crunchy texture. Its filling is made with pastry and lots of pistachio. Influencers on social media have spread the word, making Dubai chocolate an in-demand item. Retailers say right now it can be tough to find the wildly popular chocolate. Pope Francis did not appear before the faithful for his usual Sunday blessing at the Vatican. Hundreds of the faithful gathered at St. Peter's Square Sunday in hopes of seeing the pontiff from the window, where he gives his blessing during the Angelus prayer on Sundays. Francis, who is still recovering from a life-threatening case of pneumonia, instead delivered a blessing in written text, urging the faithful to experience the Lent season as a period of healing, adding that he is also experiencing it, quote, in my soul and body. Last Sunday, the Pope was discharged from Rome's Gemelli Hospital after being hospitalized for over a month and has been ordered by doctors to rest for at least 2 months and to avoid crowds. Iran rejects President Trump's request for direct nuclear talks. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian told a cabinet meeting on Sunday that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has refused to conduct direct negotiations with the Trump administration. He said a formal rejection letter was delivered to a U.S. contact in Oman, saying in part, quote, "We don't avoid talks. It's the breach of promises that has caused issues for us so far," adding they must prove they can build trust. Pezeshkian says the supreme leader, who has the final say over all state matters, has said indirect talks can continue. Trump's letter to the 85-year-old Khamenei came as the administration levied new sanctions in Iran as part of its maximum pressure campaign. It's one of the poorest countries in the world, and now Burma is suffering from the devastating impact of a violent 7.7 magnitude earthquake. The Southeast Asian nation has been caught up in a civil war that has left its economy damaged and 3 million of its residents displaced. Friday's quake turned buildings into piles of rubble, trapping countless people underneath. Recovery efforts are ongoing but have been difficult given the already dire circumstances. Stephanie Bennett has the latest on those efforts from London.
Rescue efforts continue in Burma after a brutal earthquake on Friday killed nearly 1,700 people. Thousands more are believed to still be missing in the Southeast Asian country. Much of the search consists of local residents digging through rubble with their bare hands.
There's been an increase in the sort of heavier types of buildings, which when not seismically designed and subjected to very large ground shaking, like in this case, can collapse and unfortunately cause fatalities.
The country has been entangled in a civil war since 2021. Now, in a rare call for help, Burma's ruling military is calling for international aid. Rescue teams from China and Russia arrived with heavy machinery to speed up the rescue process. But time is ticking. Local residents are reporting the smell of dead bodies filling the streets of Mandalay. The search for survivors has also been non-stop in neighboring Thailand, where the 7.7 magnitude quake shook parts of neighborhoods.
I cannot say that I feel good at all, but we are working around the clock.
The earthquake is believed to have buried workers under the rubble of what was once a construction site. Some family members have been waiting for 2 days, hopeful they will find their missing loved ones eventually.
I believe they will find her today. If they continue to work hard, I believe they will find her today.
Experts fear the true number of those killed in Burma could be much higher, and it could take weeks to determine.
Now that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:45 now on this Monday morning, and we're taking a look first at the wind reports from Sunday morning. So these orange ones here, these are damage reports from Baxter Springs, Galena, and then off here in north central Jasper County, damage to a house with some siding there, and of course more significant damage in Baxter Springs. And then we had these wind gusts, or these green ones, and so the airport in Joplin during this whole thing measured a maximum wind gust of about 79 miles an hour. So we did get those strong damaging winds. We did get, unfortunately, damage. And unfortunately as well, we have another potential round of strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. So we have this elevated risk across the entire region as we head into tomorrow. But again, I think it's going to be more for an overnight event like what we saw Sunday, and then it will begin to exit the region as we head into Wednesday. So let's break down, at least right now, what we're looking at in terms of threats for tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. So again, we have this low to elevated tornado threat. We do have where the greater concern is with hail for the potential of golf ball size or larger within this hash mark area, and then a low to elevated risk beyond that. And then we have an elevated risk for wind across the entire region as well. And again, this is going to be more into Wednesday morning, I believe, and we're going to show you the future track. For today, though, we're starting off mostly cloudy. Skies will clear into the afternoon and evening. We got a gusty north wind now. We will continue with that gusty north wind into the afternoon, and then it'll shift out of the southeast as we head overnight. Clear skies tonight, and then clouding back up for us on our Tuesday. We're looking to be partly cloudy. Some isolated sprinkles will be possible during the day Tuesday. I think most of us will be dry, and we'll have periods of partly to mostly cloudy skies through the day on Tuesday. As we head into the evening hours, another possible round of some light showers at least will be out there. And then it's again Wednesday morning, we have another line of strong to severe thunderstorms expected again early Wednesday morning. So here we are at 3 a.m. now entering to the northwestern portions of Greenwood County, and by 5 a.m. this line just outside of Baxter Springs, stretching back towards Chanute, Parsons, just exiting the Fredonia area, Coffeyville, Independence, and Bartlesville. And you can see how intense this line already looks, and so that's why we've got to watch it very closely as we head into Wednesday morning. So now we'll be on the air by the time this line really starts to roll through our area, but we definitely want to watch this line very closely for, again, that threat for strong to severe storms. By about 8 a.m., here it is now into the Missouri side and in parts of northeastern Oklahoma. Doesn't look as impressive, but at this point, right now, that doesn't necessarily mean the severe threat will be gone as this line pushes through. It won't really be, as you saw it re-amplified, at least on future track by mid-morning. It won't be until about noon that this line is out of here that our severe threat will diminish with it as well. So we're going to have to watch, again, Tuesday night into very early Wednesday morning, once again very closely. As we warned you last week and into this weekend, make sure your phone is charged. Make sure you've got the Skywatch weather app. Make sure you've got your weather radio ready to go. Make sure you've got a away to receive alerts. And of course, if anything comes in and you lose power, we'll be streaming. So get that KOAM Plus app or the KOAM News app. You can watch our live streams in either of those. Once the storms pass, though, a very warm day for us once again on Wednesday. For today, though, it is cold to start. Upper 30s out there. Mid-40s by 11 o'clock, and again, mostly cloudy skies through the morning hours, and then those skies gradually begin to clear out heading into the afternoon. We're looking at mid to upper 50s, so definitely cool and not quite at normal, and north winds gusting to 20. It does make it feel a little colder this morning. Into the evening we go. Skies continue to clear. We've got clear skies out there through the evening and overnight, still breezy, but southeast winds now gusting to 20, and our lows back right around the mid-40s. Once we get into tomorrow, it again starts to warm up, low to mid-70s, mid-70s, maybe some upper 70s here or there on Wednesday. We'll have those morning thunderstorms. Then we have additional shower and thunderstorm chances from Thursday through Saturday. Temperatures begin to drop, which is why at this point for Friday, nothing is screaming severe out of any of this. It's Wednesday morning that our next real threat is. We're a little cooler heading into next weekend. And then next week, though, sunshine returns, as do the nice warm temperatures. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A pair of bumbling bandits are shamed for their drunken theft of a beloved Paddington Bear statue. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A beloved bear statue is back where it belongs after a late-night drunken encounter saw it ripped from a bench in Britain. A judge admonished 2 members of the British Royal Air Force who were caught on camera in a bumbling attempt to steal a statue of Paddington Bear that resulted in the fictional figure ripped in half and taken away. Paddington is a national icon of sorts in England, a beloved character of page and screen whose movies are so popular one of them holds a near-perfect 99% positive score on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not making that up. The statue was safely recovered, and the bear bandits, who were reportedly drunk during the debacle, I'd never have guessed, were arrested and later sentenced to community service. According to the New York Times, the judge told them their actions, which their lawyer said they do regret, represents, quote, the antithesis of everything Paddington stands for. Another influential inanimate object, this one a crusty old baseball, sullen Chicago White Sox fans think may be responsible for a historically bad season. The team claimed a heinous 121 losses last year, earning them the nickname the Stinky Sox, a phrase coined by, well, me right now. But Sox diehards say the losses started around the time this World Series baseball from 1919, found hidden in Chicago's Tribune building, was moved to a sports museum. An outcry from fans, both superstitious and or even a little stitious, resulted in the ball being moved back to the Tribune building in an attempt to break the so-called curse and clear the way for high scores galore. Yeah, that ought to do it. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Stick around, we'll be right back. Imagine if you were able to solve crimes while in school. Well, that's precisely what some college students in New Jersey are doing. They're helping solve murders using DNA already on file. With their work, the group has already helped solve nearly 24 cold cases. The group from Rampo College in Mahwah is the first in the nation focused on integrative genetic genealogy, where the students can use DNA profiling and testing to help identify possible perpetrators or identify victims in cold cases. The team consists of undergraduate students and older professionals interested in the practical applications of IgG. Whether you're a kid or an adult, the likelihood is you've used a crayon to write or draw. Today marks National Crayon Day. Artists around the world have used wax and chalk-based crayons for centuries. Edwin Binney created the brightly colored crayons most people are familiar with today. The year was 1903. Binney's company developed the Crayola division for children for the first time, and the rest is history. Millions of people around the world use crayons today, and they continue to bring joy for artists and non-artists alike.
Crayons are always a lot of fun because they allow you to just release your inner creativity. You take a blank piece of paper, you get a box of crayons. Of course, you have the big box with the little sharpener on the back and everything. Boy, you could go for hours, if not days, being creative. And today, if you're wanting to be creative, at least with the sky, not so much this morning, just some clouds out there, which I guess is easier to color with those crayons. Mostly cloudy skies, upper 30s to start, mid 40s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, we go into the mid to upper 50s, so cool day. We'll also have those north winds gusting upwards of 20. Skies will eventually begin to clear late afternoon into the evening. Clear skies overnight, back down to the mid 40s. Winds will shift out of the southeast, but they're still gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, warm, breezy. Winds now gusting out of the southeast up to about 35, low 70s. And then overnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning, we have that next round of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms with, as we've discussed, all hazards possible. Very large hail, the primary concern at this point. Those will be done by about, I'd say 10, 11 o'clock Wednesday morning. At least that's the expectation now. A few more showers and storms, nothing severe at this point. Heading into Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A little cooler this weekend. Warm weather returns next week. Let's check out your forecast. We're back with more right after this.